Del libro de Basil Inglés para Españoles. Lesson 13. Lectura. Yesterday, Jimmy and Jean played in the garden with John and Betty from next door. It was a fine day, and they had a good time. They helped Mr. Lee to cut the grass, and they worked in the garden until it was too cold. Then they all had tea in the house. After tea, the children played cards in the sitting room. Jimmy counted his cards, but he only had 12 instead of 13. So they added one more. Then they played until it was time for John and Betty to go home. They had that dinner early, and Mr. Smith does not like it if his children come home late for dinner. Did you have a good time at Mr. Lee's house? Asked Mrs. Smith. Yes, we had a very good time. What did you do? We played cards. Did you not help Mr. and Mrs. Lee? Oh yes, we helped Mr. Lee in the garden, and then we had tea. Was Mrs. Lee at home? No, Mrs. Lee was not at home. She was in the town as she wanted to buy a lot of new clothes, but she arrived after tea. Then Mr. Smith arrived, and they all had dinner. I had a letter for you from your friend, Mr. Brown, said Mrs. Smith. He arrived this afternoon. What does he say? The Brown family is at seaside, and the weather is very good. Yesterday they bathed in the sea. Mr. Brown liked to bathe very much. The Smith family wanted to go to the seaside also, and as Mr. Smith seemed very tired because he had too much work at his office, they decided to take a holiday and go to the seaside.